He's the blogger to The Nation and columnist for the Daily Telegraph. Tim Blair joins us every week from the Wimmera in Western Victoria. Good to talk to you, Tim. I got to focus on your column this week. I love your column and the humour and the salient points you make in it. And this week you took another tall story from Joe Biden and pulled it apart. He seemed to be telling us, the president seemed to be insinuating that his grandfather was eaten by cannibals during the war. Have a look.
My Uncle Bosie was a hell of an athlete, they tell me, when he was a kid. And he became an Army Air Corps before the Air Force came along. He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. And he got shot down in New Guinea. And they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
It's his uncle, of course, not his grandfather. Joe Biden's grandfather would have fought in the Civil War. But Tim, you check this out. The idea that he crashed in New Guinea, they didn't find a body, there were cannibals about, it doesn't quite stack up.
Every single thing Biden said in that story, which is pretty typical of every single thing Biden says, is wrong. Yes, there was a plane crash, but it was in the ocean. The aircraft wasn't on reconnaissance. It was a twin-engine aircraft, not a single engine. And you know, I'm not sure about you, but my awareness of cannibals is they don't typically use the ocean as their base. They're more or less land-based predators. Yeah. So he made up a bunch of crap there. And it's amazing, though, that the defenders of Biden saying that, oh, you know, he would have heard that story in his childhood. He's repeating something from when he was a little kid, which is practically the definition of senility and dementia, isn't it? When you start regressing to that degree. He's in his 80s and he's talking about something that he would have been told about when he was a child. Interesting.
the ocean, in the ocean there are cannibals. They're called sharks. But also the plane you recount wasn't shot down. They know what happened to the plane because there was a survivor.
Yeah, the lone survivor. The plane lost altitude. Then when it hit a particularly low altitude, the engines cut out, both of them, and the thing ditched. 3 servicemen were lost tragically, including Biden's Uncle Bosie. But there was one survivor who would have, one presumes, given as much of an account as he could of what actually occurred. But to turn that into a story about cannibalism is a bit of a reach.
It is a bit of a reach. He often gets a bit befuddled, does the leader of the free world. Just briefly, a survey out today showing how much money people are prepared to spend to save their pets. Instead of perhaps having them put down by the vet, a third of people are happy to spend anything up to $5,000 on medical treatment for their pets. It's extraordinary.
Well, yeah, it is. It's interesting with my family as well. I've got family members, close family members, who've spent large amounts of money on things like cats and dogs. But similarly, I've also got family members who would scoff at that sort of spending, who have spent similar amounts of money repairing old cars. So it depends on where your emotions lie. And I'm not indicating where mine lie, but I don't have any pets and I do have a nice old car that I keep spending money on. So, you know, let's not be judgy on this one.
Let's not be too judgy. All right, I just think of all sorts of other causes that might need that money. And, hey, give a new pet a home. We'll see.